Hello, guys. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Touchline podcast. Thank you very much for joining. Please do well to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, comment, like, share. And on Facebook, click on the follow button, comment, like, and share as well. I am Joel, and I'm here with
Defla.
Defla. Defla, what's up? Where you going?
Charlie, we did. It's been a long weekend.
Yeah, Chan. This weekend, yeah, the way long,
And the weekend long, Easter weekend, so
we're rough.
mm,
Rough, Charlie. Hope everything fine.
everything fine by God's grace.
Yeah. Okay. So, obviously, we go round up on the league actions across Europe,
Yeah,
and there were so many actions peculiar to the Premier League and that of the other leagues as well. And we can
yeah,
talk of the Bundesliga, we can talk of the Serie A, the Liga, and that of the Spanish La Liga. A win for Madrid, bouncing back from the defeat against Arsenal the past week. And then Milan suffering, a home, is it a home or away defeat to Atlanta? Or
I think away. I think they played away.
away defeat to Atlanta. And then Barcelona picked up a win as well. And then in the Premier League, it was quite dicey, and it was, should I say, it was somehow interesting, or some teams were lucky to, escape even a defeat and even a draw, and then luckily getting a win.
A win is a
So
win.
the actions, yeah, the actions across the league has been very interesting. And then we are almost crowning the league. When you come to the Premier League, I think we can now say Liverpool are going to definitely, they are going to be crowned winners. There's no two ways about that. I think
Are we
I
now
think you
saying
said
it?
it. Previously.
Yeah, we've been saying it for like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. So definitely, as now we did talk, and we're saying that. You did hear me?
Yeah, they hear you.
By tech, like you're okay. Yeah. So as we were talking about, it, I mean, we are not we are not now going to say, or we already made our pronouncement. Our previous videos can testify the fact that we already declared Liverpool winners. With respect to how the games were going, even to getting to the latter part of the first season. I mean, the first half of the season, we already said we were making, pronouncements that looking at how the games are going and looking at the team's performances, Liverpool were definitely going to win the league. But one striking surprise is the top four. Defla, how is the top four going for you? Is it something you envisaged or something you expected to happen?
Um, I've been saying for some time now that the top four would be the most interesting part about the league because the
And even
relegation battle. Yeah,
before you continue, viewers, before he even continues, he made mention that there are teams that are going to get out of the top four. He made mention of Nottingham Forest and even predicted that Newcastle was a threat. Newcastle and then that of Manchester City was a threat. To be part of the top four and included Chelsea as well. So it's just an update.
yeah. So, like I was saying, the only interesting thing about the Premier League right now is the top four race. The relegation battle is almost done. How do you call it? The Premier League
the
is,
one who
is
crowned.
the
Yeah,
champions are known already. So it's right
yeah,
now it's the battle for who would get the top four. And I predicted that Nottingham Forest were going to drop out. But at a
yeah, yeah,
point,
sure.
from the way they were playing, I started doubting whether they would drop. But now it looks like the way things are going, they might drop out. It's left with 5 more games to go. Um, let's see. I still think they have the toughest games. Right now, I see Newcastle also lost over the weekend. Like the race for the top four right now is like very interesting. It's the most interesting part of the Premier
Is it
League now.
predictable?
It's not.
Is it
It's for
predictable
me. For
or
me. For
now
me right now.
it looks so unpredictable?
For me right now, it's not predictable. But what I can say is that I know for certain that definitely City will make the top four. For City,
Yeah,
I
sure,
know
sure, sure. Because
they will
sure,
make the
sure,
top
sure.
four.
I wouldn't doubt you when you talk of experience. I mean, playing the latter games in the season. I mean, winning trophies at the latter parts. I mean, gaining points at the latter part of the season. City has most of the experiences, and if you look at the guys on the pitch for City, you wouldn't doubt the fact that we can. I can agree perfectly with you that though it's difficult to predict which teams exactly will complete the top four race, City wouldn't be a doubt at all. And then now let's look at Liverpool. Um, uh, what is left for Liverpool to play for the season? Because looking at players like Mo Salah, Trent, and then that of Van Dijk, I think there are a couple of players in the team that have transfer exits surrounding their camps. How impactful is that going to be to the team's performances, not only this season, but getting into next season as well?
Liverpool is really the way they are ending the season. I have my doubts about them for next season, unless they do a lot of changes. I know we know for certain that Trent would leave at the end
It's
of the
leaving.
season. Yeah, that we know. So it depends on who they get to fill at right back and their midfield. Their midfield, I think it lacks a little bit of creativity. If they could get somebody in midfield who will be creative for them, because recently they've been struggling to create chances. Their chance creation has been very um, limited, minimal. When Salah doesn't create anything, if you've realized for their past few matches, they've not been free scoring like they used to be at the start of the season. It's like when Salah doesn't perform a magic for them, there's nothing going on for them. So they need to find ways to get bodies into midfield. They've done well so far and they've already won the league. Like
Yeah,
we
and
know.
even to support what you said earlier, that you are getting your doubts about them, even in the game, Defla, Leicester being in the relegation zone, they matched up to them, if we are being honest.
Yeah,
To be
yeah.
fair to Leicester City, they also played some beautiful football. There was you couldn't even see that this is, I mean, a title chasing team and this is a relegation battle team. Or maybe is it that if a relegation team is playing against one of these top sides, they lift up the, how do you call it? They bring their game to that level to match them up. Or is it that Liverpool's form getting to the latter part of the season has not been that impressive?
I think their form hasn't been impressive because if you look at Leicester City, they've been really poor throughout the season.
Yeah.
Even when the Van Nistelrooy came, I think it's even worse than when they were without him. So I was surprised they were struggling. They really struggled to beat Leicester because Leicester, from everybody's destiny, Leicester is a very poor defensive team. They are not good defensively. So it's always a surprise when teams struggle to play break them down or score goals against them. That's one thing you should look at when you are playing Leicester. If you are struggling to create chances against them, then you know there's a red flag somewhere or something. So for Liverpool, like I said, they should do better at trying to get players into their team for next season to refresh the team. Even though they've won the league, I think this season the competition wasn't that tough for the top four, like teams that will go into the top four. So they should do well to boost their team. Otherwise, next season will be a tough one for them.
All right. With respect to Arsenal, how important is it with the performances that they are putting up as the season is coming to an end? How is it important for the team's morale for next season or the team's confidence for next season? How important is Arsenal's performance, or how important is it for Arsenal to finish the season stronger? I mean, proud to next season, because we all know that next season the target will still be to win the league. So finishing the season very strong will be a boost for them.
Um, I'm not even looking at last season because everybody knows that for next season, Arsenal has to really try. Next season, we have to win the league. I'm looking at the results like this final few matches. I see it as a preparation for our matches in the Champions League rather. So I look at our performances. In the Champions League, our next match in the Champions League, we will be missing Thomas Partey, and against Ipswich, we tried
PSG.
to play, yes, against PSG. I'm saying our last Premier League game against Ipswich, we didn't play Thomas Partey, and I was impressed with the way we were able to play without him. Like I said, Merino came into the midfield and Partey went to the number 6 position. And it's still our team still look fluid. We still play good football. We're able to attack well. We're able to create chances, which is always very important. But it's just Ipswich, so you don't have to get carried away. In midweek, we'll play against Crystal Palace because they have FA Cup semi-final at the weekend. So let's see how the midweek also goes, how we are able to cope without party and all the other stuff. And I believe that if we are able to play well, like we use these games as practice matches for the Champions League against PSG, um, maybe we can go ahead and win the Champions League. Right now, it looks like we are favorites to win the Champions League. So I'm praying that we'll be able to capitalize on these games, used to fine tune our tactics getting into the Champions League semi-final.
Okay, so now since you are talking about Arsenal, we are talking about Arsenal, and then you chipped in the Champions League and a little bit about it. Do you think now it's important for Arteta to manage these players well to avoid any form of injury? I mean, with respect to your game against PSG.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You have to manage the players to avoid injuries, but you cannot also say that because of injuries you will not play them because you have to play them and find a balance. You have to be able to find a balance between, okay, let me play my key players for 60, 70 minutes and bring them out to check my
Yeah,
tactics
because
and
we see
everything.
him doing that. We see him doing that with Saka
Yeah,
a lot since
yeah,
he returned from injury.
yeah, yeah. Saka really is not injury prone. This is his first major injury since I started watching him at Arsenal. So hopefully, they will be able to manage his minutes very well so that he can perform in the Champions League.
Okay, but there is no doubt Arsenal is finishing in the Champions League spot.
No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Yeah, so Arsenal is not even fighting for top four. They are not in that fight at all. Like,
No,
which
we
is good.
are we are not
And
in the fight for
yeah,
the top.
and are we expecting the return of Havertz and Gabriel very soon?
For Havertz, I think he's still on course to come back before the season ends. But I don't know for Gabriel. Maybe he'll be able to return to. But for him, I'm not very sure. I haven't really followed the injury report from Arsenal recently, but I know Kai Havertz has started field grass training and all that. So maybe he'll be able to return
Okay,
before the
that's
end of
good
the season.
news.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, guys. But I think we've covered enough
Yeah.
for today, and it's been amazing coming your way. And okay, that's last sign is out.
So, guys. Um, we've come to the end of another episode on the Touchline podcast. Still want you guys to keep subscribing, liking, and sharing our videos on Facebook and YouTube. Like our videos, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. We're out.
We are out.